Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Turn It Up Thursday. This is your Friday Eve self development, personal development session with your host and coach, Karen, Coach KG Gilliam. It is a pleasure to be here. Today is Thursday, May 18th. So, greetings to you all. But if this happens to be your birthday today, then I even sent out a shout out of happy birthday to those that are celebrating today. Another another chapter in the book of your life, and be grateful for it. So, I am here in the Pacific Northwest, and here it has been beautiful all week long. Temperatures for most of the people here is a little high, but I do not mind because I'm originally from the East Coast and spent 12 years in North Carolina. So I know what it's like when the temperature is hot. I rather really for it to be hot than cold. How about you? So, as you're coming in, as you're viewing this, please let me know where you're viewing from and give a shout out to us. And I am going to go right into our session. It won't be too long today. We have been charting our course, our map, rather. We've been charting our map. And for those of you, if this is the first time you've ever joined us, what is the map? Well, we put our dream to the test. You know what? Some of us were just tired of having unfulfilled dreams. And during the course of going through Dr. Maxwell's book, we have not only become fulfilled dream builders, but we have taken the steps necessary to move from being just a dreamer, just talking about it, just thinking about it. And we have learned that it is the action that will bring forth the dream. We've also learned that that dream needs to be something that will be an influence and an impact on other people, not just about us acquiring things and all that stuff. This is about your life's purpose. When I introduce myself, when I speak, there's a part of my introduction that I say power, passion, and purpose. Those are the three P's by which I live. Power is not only strength, but power is influence. I am to be a person of influence. As a matter of fact, I am the CIO, continuously inspiring others, and I could say influencing others, uh, rather just a CEO, a chief executive officer, because what I do when I'm in alignment with my assignment, I am making a difference in other people's lives. Now, the second P, power, passion. Passion is what we're going to talk about today because it was the fourth question of the dream test. If you have never taken the dream test before in Dr. Maxwell's book, all you need to do is in the comments say, Coach KG, send me the dream test. And we actually take it twice. So you'll take it the first time and you'll take it the second time, because this is before we start to chart our map, create our map, our dream map. So passion is what we're going to talk about today, but passion is so important because the passion is the fuel to the dream. It is the fuel. It is what you do with the least amount of effort. It is what you thoroughly enjoy. It is what brings joy to other people. And so we're going to talk about that. But then my third P, when I introduce myself, when I speak is purpose. Everything you do should have a purpose. Live intentionally. You don't have time to be a wandering generality anymore. It is time to be a mindful, specific, and be in alignment with your assignment. So let's dive in to the fourth question on the dream test. And that is the passion question. The passion question. So, does my dream compel me to follow it? Does my dream compel me to follow it? So, I just said when I talked about the three P's: power, passion, and purpose. Passion is the fuel that gives successful people. That's right. Not just give it to people. Because if you're not going to do anything with the passion, you really don't need it. So it is the fuel that gives successful people the energy needed to keep pursuing their dreams. Absolutely. Absolutely. So passion is also the thing or the things that you enjoy doing. When I'm coaching, I ask people, do they know what their passion is? Passion is internal. And I have on many occasions received a no answer that people say, I don't know what my passion is. So I have a series of questions that I take them through. And what one of them is, what is it that you do with the least amount of effort that you would do any time of day or night? What is it that brings you joy or gives you joy or gives joy because of what you're doing for others? These are all questions that I ask. And I even say, what is it that you would do that you wouldn't even care if you got paid for it? That is true passion, because it's not following the money. It is getting to do what you were designed, what you have strengths, talents, and gifts for, and is what you do with the least amount of effort. And it is what is inside of you to benefit other people. So if you are not fulfilling what you are most passionate about, shame on you. Yes, I said it. Shame on you, because you may have stuff inside of you that was for me and you holding out. Yes, you holding out. I promise you, everyone, God gave everyone a purpose, an assignment, and He wants us in alignment with that assignment. So, in developing our dream map, and I probably should put my notes in front of me, then that way it doesn't seem like I'm just looking away from you. In developing your dream map, let's start with, and we've done this is the fourth time now. You are here. You know, on the map, when you're looking to see how do you get from one place to another, it will let you know where you are. So you can map out the course by which you want to get to your destination. So here in our dream map, what was your score on the passion question? Out of a possible 10, where were you? Where did you land? I will tell you that on that question, a 10 for me. A 10 for me. So let's see what it means as far as your score to the passion question. What does it mean? Let's gauge your passion. All right. So I'm going to start with 10. 10. If you're like me, scored a 10 on the passion question, you are compelled to follow your dream. Then number 10 is my passion is so hot, it sets other people on fire. Yes, yes. My passion is so hot that it sets other people on fire. Yes, I'm smoking, y'all. I'm smoking because what I am doing day in and day out is to develop that passion that I have to see people live their dream life and to be the best version of their authentic selves. Absolutely. So, um, that's number 10. If you are here, that is where you are. That's the gauge. Now, if you're a 9, if you scored a 9 on the passion question, I cannot imagine my life without my dream. So you're not quite setting people on fire yet, but you can't even imagine your life without your dream. That's if you scored a 9. Now, if you scored an 8, I willingly sacrifice other important things for it. I willingly sacrifice other important things for it. Yes, in pursuing your dream, there is some sacrifice. There is because we give up instantaneous gratification. I know we are the microwave generation. We want it not now, you wanted it yesterday. But if you know your passion, you are willing to sacrifice immediate gratification and other important things for it. Number 7, I am fired up by it and often preoccupied with it. If you scored a 7 on the passion question, I am fired up by it and often preoccupied with it. Number 6, if you scored 6 on the passion question, I enjoy it as one of my many interests. If you notice that as we go down in the number, so does the passion, right? All right, number 5, I can take it or leave it. If you scored a 5, it's I can take it or leave it. Number 4, if you scored a 4 on the passion question, I prefer not to think about it. I prefer not to think about it. Yet, in your mind, it's there. You just have to learn how to think better. More to come. If you scored a 3, I go out of my way to avoid it. Why do you even have the dream? If you've got to avoid it, why do you even have the dream? It's not a dream. It's not a dream. It really isn't. Stop even saying it. Okay? If you're avoiding it, stop saying it. All right? If you scored a 2, I'll put it on my list of least favorite things. Wow. Wow. If it's a least favorite thing, we avoid things that do not give us pleasure and may cause us pain. So again, it's not a dream. And if you scored a 1, I would rather have a root canal without anesthesia. Please, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? You have no passion. Or because it's internal, your passion hasn't been inspired. And maybe, just maybe, first of all, you were truthful about the passion question, but you know you want more. And you know you wouldn't have a root canal without anesthesia. Come on now. So let me just say, if you scored below an 8, you need to work to increase your passion. If you scored 8 and above, your goal should be to sustain your passion. And I'm going to tell you, to sustain your passion is simple. I'm not going to say it's easy, because even when it comes to your passion, when you're faced with obstacles, you know, some of them could hit you pretty low where you just sort of wane in that passion. But it's simple to sustain your passion if you stay plugged in. And we'll talk about that even further. So you are here. That's where you are. Now, the second thing that we do is we survey the terrain. We are creating a dream map. We just sort of survey the land, if you will. So, passion comes from within. You've heard me say that. But it's also a choice. It is a choice. You don't just wake up one morning and you go, oh my gosh, I'm passionate. If you have a more reserved personality, and I think you all can see, I don't, but I can be reserved if I need to be. But for the most part, I'm very spontaneous. I'm very carefree. So those of you that have a more reserved personality, you will have to choose. You will. Those of us like myself, passion, we think about it. We eat, drink, sleep about it. It is with us always, but it's still a choice. Also, passion rises up in people who can tap into what matters to them the most. That's it. That's why I know I am on the path of my passion, and the power and the purpose are all lined up too. So I can be effective in having that fulfilled dream. So if you are seeking passion, reflect and answer. I've got some questions for you. So let me pull those up. First of all, what gives you joy? What gives you joy? And joy is something that stays with you always. It's not an emotion like happy, all right? Joy is continuous, but sometimes it may not be as evident, all right? So, what gives you joy? This is the time we're surveying the land, and we are doing the dream map. Now, the second question, hope you wrote that down. What touches your heart? What touches your heart? What pulls on your heartstrings? All right. This is for those of you that are seeking passion. And then the third one, What energizes you? What gives you energy? What is it that no matter how tired you are physically, you get energized and you'll do it day in, day out? What is it that you do with the least amount of effort? And what is it that you do and you don't care whether you get paid for it or not? See, this is part of my passion in bringing this personal development session. And I'm not getting paid for it. I want to do this so, and as it's out there on the different platforms and people come across it, my message pulls on their heartstrings and hopefully energizes them to seek their passion, to seek their purpose, to seek to be in alignment with their assignment. All right? Now, the third part of our dream map. The third part is asking questions. Remember when we started this with question 1, and this is question 4, so we have 6 more to go. There are 10 questions to the dream test for those of you that haven't taken it. You were supposed to have a notebook because we do journaling. It's sort of like keeping a travel diary because this is the dream map, right? So in asking questions, make an appointment with someone who is the most passionate person you know. Make an appointment. Remember when we started, each one of these questions has you asking questions of someone who is where you want to be as it pertains to the question. So by the end of this, you will have talked to 10 people, or it could be the same person, or, multiple times. All right. So who's the most passionate person you know? And come up with some questions, write out some questions related to passion to ask them. And I'll give you a few in just a moment when we get to the journaling part, because you want to journal, and that's not the step next, but you want to journal your conversation with that person, what you learned, how it related to you. But before you do that, you want to give life to your map. And one of the best ways to give life to your map as it relates to the passion question is to know your life's purpose. Everything God created had a purpose or has a purpose. So do some research, find some books. Now I'm going to suggest a couple. And for sake of time, I know some of the authors, and right off the top of my head, I don't. But Purpose-Driven Life is one. In Search of Significance. I've talked about that one as well. That's Robert McGee. Okay. And then Strength Finder 2.0. And that is Tom Rath. And I talked about that last week as part of your 1-year growth plan. We're going to go over that too before we end today. All right. So you want to do that. Now, as you work through the issue of giving life to your map, Come up with a single sentence that captures why you're here, that captures why you are pursuing this dream, and write it down. So now, as you see, we're in that journaling. So spend the next several days. Let it be a wow moment within 1 week, working through the passion issue. Now, I'm going to give you a few questions that you can talk about. In what areas of your life do you display the most initiative? If you initiate something, chances are there's passion there. It matters to you. Another one, if you could spend the rest of your life doing one thing, what would it be? If you could spend the rest of your life doing one thing, I know you're capable of multitasking, but one thing, what would it be? What type of activities drain your energy? What drains you? What just zaps the energy right out of you? On the other hand, what activities give you energy? I mean, sometimes you just, I know I am, to the point you like a Mexican jumping bean, you know, just hopping all over the place, right? What issues or causes fire you up? What issues or causes fire you up? And here's the last one, and then you may come up with some of your own. But how are your purpose, the things that give you energy, and your dream related? How are your purpose, the things that give you energy, and your dream related? So here's a question, and you can make it part of your journaling, or this is something to make you think about what we're talking about today. If you believe that you do need to make some changes, what will it take for you to make them? What will it take for you to make? Now, last week, remember, I mentioned that when it came to growth, you are responsible for the growth plan, what you do to grow. But when it comes to your character, your character is a byproduct of the habits that you have created. Now, the habits you have now is why you are where you are now. If you don't like where you are now, then you have to create some new habits. And the only way to sustain the change in the new habits is that you need to be accountable. So how do you do that? A coach that will work with you, a coach who has experienced and overcome habits and created new ones. And now it's part of their purpose to make sure other people have the same. So that's something to think about. So before I share with you an opportunity for you to work on those habits, to change those habits, to think better, to stop procrastinating, to stop stopping, starting again, to stop not finishing, I want to tell you this as it relates to passion, because this is plotting your course of the dream map. This is so important. So I do invite you to go back to the beginning of this video, this live video, and watch it again. So keeping the passion for your dream hot, sizzling, sometimes can be difficult. So this is what Dr. Maxwell and I recommend. This is what I teach as well. Number one is avoid negative people. Oh my goodness. Even in raising my children, I used to say when they were little that if they said anything negative, it hurt my ears. And I remember on one occasion, one of my children had friends visiting, and the friend said something negative, and my child corrected them and said, "No, you can't say that. That'll hurt my mommy's ears." So I think they believed that when I said negative words hurts my ears. I think they have believed, but avoid negative people. You love everybody, but you don't have to hang around everybody. Remember that. The people that bring you down, stay away from them. Number two, spend time with passionate people. You know, Dr. Maxwell shared a story about a gentleman by the name of Elmer Townsend, who was a professor and dean at Liberty University. And he taught Dr. Maxwell the hot poker principle. Now, listen to this. The way to get a poker hot is to put it in the fire. You know that, right? If you needed a poker hot, you have to put it in the fire. The way to stay passionate about your dream is to be around people who are passionate about theirs. They're on fire. And when you immerse yourself into their presence, you will be like a poker and be hot. All right? Number three, put up visual reminders. One of the things that I have started doing again is, remember back in the early days of Turn It Up, I taught you about savers, Hal Elrod, having a ritual morning. And so the S is silence. The A is affirmations/afformations. V is visualization, seeing what your dream is. E is exercise. R is reading. And the second S is scribing, journaling. Okay? So you need visual reminders of your dream. What does your dream look like? That's a success work right there. Get some visual pictures of your dream. And the last thing, for people of faith, pray and ask God to help you to stay passionate for the right things. For the right things. If God gave you a vision, He will provide the provision. All right. So with that ends our fourth question. Next week will be the pathway question. Do I have a strategy to reach my dream? And then I want to review real quick the 1 year growth plan that all of us are on. Number one is to read 2 books related to your strengths. We talked about that. Strength Finder 2.0, Tom Rath, know your 5 top strengths. So you also want to read books that are related to each one of your strengths. Number 2, plan an interview with an expert in your number 1 strength. My number 1 strength is communication. And I have interviewed experts who also have that as their strength. And number 3, listen to a podcast every week related to your top 5 strengths. All right. So, as I mentioned earlier, in order to change your habits and make them stick, because your habits develop your character and your character develops your destiny, you need to be accountable to someone. So, my success partner, Dr. Dan Abraham Thomas Jr., and myself have developed a program. And to see if it's a good fit for you, jot down this link and schedule an appointment for a discovery session. All right. It's absolutely free to do that. Schedule based on the times listed in the program when you click on the link. And then we will, I'm sorry, I showed you the wrong one. This is it. This is it. This is where you go to set up the discovery meeting at the available times that we have. You'll need about 45 minutes. It will not be more than an hour. It could be less than 45 minutes. So, but I say on average about 45 minutes to talk with us. We have questions for you. It's to see if you are a good fit. This program that we are launching the latter part of June will only have 10 participants because we want this very first one. We are pouring ourselves into this. Combined, we have 60 years of experience. We have gone through the valley when it comes to pursuing your purpose and your power and your passion. So jot down this link and go and schedule an appointment. And if nothing else, you'll walk away with an understanding. You will be revelation. You'll be enlightened and hopefully empowered. So, all right. So we are done for today. So glad to have had you with me. Go back and read this. Diana, thank you so much for being here today. I apologize for not acknowledging you before, but thank you so much for being here. Go back. If you need the dream test, all you have to do is put in the comments, I'd like the dream test, and I will send it out to you. So until next Thursday, remember power, passion, and purpose. With love, have a great day.